feel fatigue and you kind of look like this body shape,
chances are you're
falling into this category.
Right, right. So definitely the carbohydrates are really big. And it's so funny because when you talk to people, they tend to, well, I'm going to exercise harder tomorrow, you know. Well, I'll just eat it up and get out of the house and it won't be there to tempt me, you know. I went to Whole Foods recently and I was getting a salad and the bakery section's right across from me, and I see one of my patients sitting in there, right, and I'm just watching her. I'm seeing if she's going to do it or not, you know, because there's a big sample tray of double fudge brownies, right? I'm watching her. She's going closer, and she's walking back, and then she goes there, and she looks this way, and she looks that way. She's looking all around, and she grabs one of these, and then she looks up, and we catch eye contact. And she just got her cart and just started bolting this way. And I'm like, running back, listen, don't worry about it. Just tell me. You don't have to hide it. But it's amazing how people will tend to cheat on their diet and they want to keep it a secret, you know.
But also what you're saying, though, is if you are somebody who's craving carbohydrates and the like, just giving those up isn't going to make you lose this weight because there's other things
involved. Going on.
So what do people have to do? If you look at this and you say, you know what, that's me or that's my husband, yeah. What do you do with that?
Well, we have a very strategic way of handling this. What we do is we listen to the patient, find out about their history, find out about these characteristics that are very common so we can classify them in certain areas. And then what we do is we put them on a food eating program that is geared towards their shape. You can't put everyone in the same diet. And if you do, you'll be partially successful. For example, if you have one of the body shapes that we're going to talk about later and you put them on a lot of protein, they're going to end up with arthritis in the fingers. So you want to be strategic. You want to give them the exercise and the diet program that they need.
That matches their body shape.
Yeah, it's just a lot easier.
Let's talk about the second body shape, or one of the other three that we're going to go through, because this is one that, again, affects both men and women and is really the most common, and it's called the pendulous abdomen.
Yeah. So check this body shape out. This is more of the hanging belly. The word pendulous comes from pendant, meaning hanging or sagging, because it's right in the belly, right through in there. And so this person, and it's very, very common, this person is stressed out to the max. This person has anxiety. They're nervous. This person is more depressed.
So this is fatigue. Stress isn't necessarily fatigue then in what you're saying here.
Correct. This person will have a hard time getting out of bed. They need coffee to wake up. And they usually go to this place, let me think of the name, I think it's called Starbucks. Have you ever heard of that? So they're standing in there in line and they get the coffee and then they wake up because they're stressed out. And because their body is in stress mode, they tend to have all sorts of sleeping issues. So, for example, when someone goes to sleep at night, they go through 4 levels of sleep. They go through the superficial to a deeper sleep right here. They go deep, superficial, deep sleep. And so they have the REM sleep up here, which is like the dreaming state, and then they go deeper. Well, with this body shape, I found they always have sleeping problems. They get up about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and they can't get back to bed, or they can't get to sleep, or they can't get out of bed. So their sleeping is messed up. And if someone can't sleep, it really affects them during the day because they can't function. They can be fatigued during the day.
And you tend to eat more also when you're tired, do you not?
Absolutely, absolutely. So what's interesting about this is, check this out. This deep sleep right here, that's when all the fat burning occurs. So let's say you exercise, right? It's not the calories that you burn during the exercise that are any significance at all. It's the fat burning effects that are created 24 to 48 hours later in sleep, in the deep sleep cycles.
So if you're not getting into the deep sleep cycle, which, as we know, many Americans are not, you're probably not losing the weight that you could be losing or should be losing just to even be at a normal level.
Right. So here this person is exercising and exercising harder, and they can't lose weight. Well, they can't because these fat-burning hormones can't work because they're not getting in the deep sleep cycle. So they need to be able to sleep, and it really is a barrier for them. This person tends to...
this is body shape 1 again,
yeah,
which is the all over.
Yeah, they tend to... they sleep too much. They can get sleep and sleep and sleep and sleep. These people can't sleep. This person, they're taking vitamins. It's not working. Like, they'll take all these vitamins and they don't see any effects from them because they just don't work. And so it's very, very expensive urine. They tend to have cold feet. These people tend to have hot feet. So
Interesting.
these characteristics are very, very similar in different shapes.
What are, I mean, you mentioned brittle nails and the like with this one. What would be some other characteristics with this one?
This is an interesting thing because when the person is in stress mode, the body is actually eating up its own proteins or muscles. And specifically the thigh muscle right here. The thigh muscles go first. So the body tends to eat up the muscles in the thigh and the buttocks and leaving kind of a flabby muscle or a shrinkage or a small muscle there. So when they get up, they can't get up too quickly because they feel their knees are weak because they're not strong anymore. That's this body shape, very, very common. So they have the skinnier legs. Now what the body's doing is it's taking that muscle, it's turning into sugar. As fuel, they're running on sugar. They're not running on fat. And then a hormone comes in there, insulin, and that turns that into fat around the midsection. So basically...
Hence why you have the belly that looks like this.
Exactly. This is their legs. So they're going to the gym and they're working out, trying to build up the muscle. But the problem is, it's not working because they're in stress mode. Their body is so stressed out. And they can't absorb calcium. They also have calcium problems. They get cramps in the calves at night. They have pain signals. They have pain syndromes. They have arthritis, bursitis, tendinitis, heel spurs. Sometimes they get stones in the gallbladder or the kidney. They tend to have calcium issues.
And all these are linked to the weight, but also to hormones. It's all in there together.
Yeah, it all is. And obviously, we're not diagnosing medical conditions or hormones. We're kind of looking at the shape to help people with food and exercise to help them be successful. Because what I've done in the last 17 years is observe common things that occur with different shapes. And so I've classified them and I put them in different things just to be more successful.
All right, so we have 4 total. These are the first 2. Let's talk about the third shape, which, and this is one that I know a lot of women will look at and say, yes, that is me.
Right, exactly. This is more of the saddlebag or the thigh muscles right here. And they usually have a pooch right below the belly button. Now look at this. This is above the belly button and large, but they just have a small pooch right down here.
And do you find one particular body shape at different ages for a woman?
Yeah, this tends to happen after age 52. This is before 52. This usually is more of a female body shape. They tend to have problems with their menstrual cycle, PMS, and they crave creamy foods, comforting foods like ice cream, chocolate. They like that. And I don't know if this is for certain, but I think it has something to do with serotonin, and they need that comfort because serotonin will bring you up. It makes you feel comfortable, and they'll tend to crave the foods that trigger that hormone, so possibly it could be a deficiency. We don't know.
Interesting that, you know, we talk about hormones and how these are 2 types that really affect a lot of women, one at a certain age and one at the other, which really shows you that hormones must be involved in some shape or form.
I think there's definitely a connection. And this one usually has hot flashes after the age 52. So I've just noticed that in that characteristic.
All right, let's move to the last body shape. And this is, again, one that affects both men and women, but I know a lot of women out there are going to say, that's my husband, that's not me. I mean, this looks like a lot of what you see on men. This
is the guy on the beach with the Speedo.
Right. Who made an unfortunate choice in a bathing suit, but yes, this is him.
Don't ask me why they wear that. This is more of a protruding belly, and this is, I find it's more of a water weight. So if they actually, you can see it kind of like it's like a pot belly or a protrusion as compared to this body shape, which is a sagging belly. See the difference?
I do see the difference, yes.
These people, it's interesting, these people tend to have right shoulder pain, not left. And they tend to have skin issues. They have itchy skin, those little brown spots in the back of the hand. They tend to have little red dots on their skin. They have bad skin. And they tend to get stiffness in the back when they get out of bed. When they wake up in the morning, they get stiffness in the fingers, in the joints. They tend to have digestive issues.